only imprisoned for less than 10 minutes. Her 4 brothers, each wealthy enough to rival a nation, didn't hire a lawyer for her. Instead, they asked the judge to sentence her to death. But when they saw that their sister had a new brother after her release, they all regretted it. They knelt and begged the girl to come back to them. But it was all too late. Today was the day Shen Yu was released from prison. After seeing her walk out of the iron gate, her second brother, Shen Jiwen, parked his Porsche in front of her. Rolling down the window, he said, hypocritically, "Mom and Dad asked me to pick you up. You've suffered these past 2 years. We'll make it up to you when you get back." His tone was very perfunctory, occasionally revealing a hint of apology. "Shen, you only felt disgusted. You all conspired to make me take the blame for Shen Xing. You sent me to prison. Now, you want me back, and say you'll compensate me? Are you cheap, or am I cheap?" Shen Yu was the true daughter of the Shen family, switched at birth. Although she was recognized and brought back to the Shen family 3 years ago, she was disliked by the whole family. Even her 4 biological brothers frequently subjected her to emotional neglect and verbal abuse. They were afraid she would take everything from the fake daughter, Shen Xing. In contrast, Shen Xing was not only the beloved of the Shen family, but her every need was met immediately, even when she maliciously pushed a classmate down the stairs, leaving them paralyzed. The Shen family, to protect Shen Xing, joined forces to fabricate evidence. Not only did they frame Shen Yu, but they also tricked her into pleading guilty in court, so that they would help clear her name. Shen Yu foolishly waited for this promise, but all that arrived were cold shackles. In the end, she was bullied to death in prison. The person here now is a lone wisp of a spirit that coincidentally entered Shen Yu's body. After recalling the tragic original owner's entire life story, Shen Yu's expression turned even colder. A trace of disgust flashed in Shen Jiwen's eyes. "Do you think I want to come pick you up? With the scandal you're carrying now, letting you come home is already a kindness. Don't be ungrateful. Zhao Xing is still at home waiting for you. We prepared a cake for you. Don't let Zhao Xing down." Shen Yu sneered. "My scandal exists thanks to all of you. Especially you, my dear older brother, Lawyer Shen. When you set her up to take the fall and go to prison for Shen Xing, Shen Jiwen was hardly a minor contributor." Shen Jiwen's expression shifted. "We had no choice in that situation. I could only protect Zhao Xing." Shen Yu cursed. "You're all just a bunch of psychos." Then she walked straight ahead. Shen Jiwen frowned. "Don't forget you've been to prison. If you leave the Shen family now, you'd probably be worse off than a beggar on the street." At that moment, a Maybach pulled up in front of Shen Yu. A man got out of the car. He quickly walked up to Shen Yu. He bowed respectfully. "Excuse me, are you Miss Shen Yu?" Shen Yu nodded. "I am." The man became even more respectful. "I'm very sorry for being late. Miss Shen Yu, please get in the car." Shen Jiwen watched with a surprised expression. If he remembered correctly, there were no more than 5 cars of this model in the entire country. Shen Yu gave a hum of acknowledgement. As she got in the car, she turned to look at the stunned Shen Jiwen. "By the way, there's another reason I don't want to return to the Shen family. That is, I don't like staying with animals." After saying this, Shen Yu took a long stride and got into the car. The driver shrewdly blew the exhaust fumes towards Shen Jiwen's face. This made Shen Jiwen's eyes turn exceptionally gloomy with anger. Who was it? Other than the Shen family, who else would come to pick up Shen Yu upon her release from prison? And why did she now curse so easily when she spoke? Did prison make her stupid? At this moment, the Maybach was heading towards the Lin family's old residence. The driver said respectfully, "Miss Shen, our President Lin was very excited to hear you were being released. She originally intended to pick you up personally, but the old lady happened to have a relapse today. She returned to the old residence first and sent me to pick you up." Shen Yu lightly acknowledged with a hum. In her previous life, Shen Yu was the 39th generation heir of the Yimin. By chance, she had met Lin Si, the head of the Lin family, while in prison. She accurately diagnosed the symptoms of the Lin family's elderly lady just by listening to the description, as well as conditions that many doctors couldn't identify. This made Lin Si trust her completely. Therefore, Lin Si often helped her by spending money to arrange things in prison. In return, Shen Yu promised to treat the elderly lady Lin after she got out. At the same time, she made a silent vow in her heart. Don't worry. Since I've used your body to be reborn, those who bullied you before, I will make sure each one of them gets the punishment they deserve. On the other side, after Shen Jiwen returned home, he gave an exaggerated and distorted account of what happened, causing the whole family's expressions to turn extremely unpleasant. Father Shen was furious. She dares not come home? She really knows how to put on airs. The eldest brother curled his lips. And here little Xing even made her a small cake. She really knows how to trample on people's kindness. The third brother wasn't worried at all. Don't worry, she'll come back eventually. There's simply no place for her out there. They all knew very well. Shen Yu doesn't have a single cent to her name. Right now, besides the Shen family, she literally has nowhere else to go. Shen Xing put on her typical fake innocent act. She pitifully wiped her tears. It's all my fault. Shen, you must not want to come back because of me. The fourth brother was displeased. Why are you blaming yourself? Don't take responsibility for everything. Shen Xing suddenly thought of something. Wait. Second brother, you said a luxury car picked her up. What kind of luxury car? Given her social connections, it's impossible for her to know someone like that. For a moment, everyone in the Shen family showed expressions of doubt. I don't know. And I feel like she seems different from before. Shen Jiwen muttered in confusion. Shen Xing frowned. Could it be that she arranged the car herself? And then put on an act just to show off to us? Her speculation was agreed upon by the whole family. After all, before returning to the Shen family, Shen Yu's adoptive parents were ordinary poor people. She even spent 2 years in prison. Her current social status is worse than a beggar's. That must be it. You can rent that kind of car on any app these days. It's all just for show. Third brother sneered. I'd like to see how long she can keep up the act. At this time, the Lin family's old residence was also bustling. This illness is also a torment for Mom. How about? No, Mom is only 70. Besides, Mom hasn't even written her will yet. How will the property be divided, then? What's all the arguing about? First, calm Mom down. All you do is argue. Lin Si slammed the table and said angrily, what we should be thinking about now is how to cure Mom's illness. Although Lin Si is the youngest daughter of the Lin family, she controls the family's finances. So once she spoke, the two brothers who were just arguing immediately fell silent. Easier said than done. How to treat it? We've been trying to cure Mom's strange illness for years without success. The eldest brother sneered. With the financial resources of our Lin family, we've consulted every kind of expert there is. They can't even name the illness. Who says it can't be cured? Lin Si said in a deep voice. Let's wait a little longer. Maybe a miracle will happen. She came out today. As long as she's out, there's a chance. Do you actually believe that? Even the world's top experts can't cure Mom's illness. Who else in this world could possibly treat it? The sister-in-law snorted coldly. Mom has been sick for so many years. If it could be cured, it would have been done long ago. This comment made everyone's mood sink to the lowest point. Old Mrs. Lin contracted a strange illness 5 years ago. She spends half of each day in a drowsy sleep. And whenever she is awake, her whole body feels as if thousands of ants are biting her, causing unbearable pain. She even experiences full-body convulsions. To reduce the old lady's suffering, they can only give her sedatives daily and keep her asleep for long periods. But continuing like this indefinitely is not a solution. Just when everyone was feeling hopeless, a calm, light young woman's voice sounded peacefully from outside the house. "I can cure it." Instantly, everyone looked toward the door. The girl at the door looked to be under 20 years old, wearing a baseball cap, dressed in a t-shirt and straight leg pants. She looked quite neat and fresh. But in the eyes of the Lin family, this girl seemed rather shabby. "Who is she? Who let her in?" Boss Lin stood up abruptly and demanded. Lin Ce, however, became agitated. "Shen, you're back." "Shen." You looked at Lin Ce. The corners of her lips twitched slightly, seeing Lin Ce so worked up. The others all showed surprised expressions. After all, Lin Ce was known for being the most steady and composed. She rarely showed any emotion easily. Now she had completely calmed down. Looking at Shen Yu, she introduced. "She is the one who can save Mom." Hearing this, all the Lin family members present were in an uproar. What kind of joke is this? How can a mere kid like her save anyone? Have you been scammed? Even the world's top experts couldn't cure Mom's illness. What could she possibly do to help? Lin Ce's face darkened. "Shen, you is the one I invited to treat Mom. I will take full responsibility if anything goes wrong." Shen Yu paid no attention to these remarks. She took the rosewood box handed by Lin Ce and opened it to check. Inside were 9 silver needles, as fine as a strand of hair. Shen Yu was very satisfied. After putting away the silver needles, she asked, "Where is the patient?" The eldest brother stepped forward to block her. "Wait, you're really going to let her treat Mom? Are you out of your mind?" Shen Yu glanced at him. "I said I can cure her." The Lin family members wanted to say more, but they were interrupted by another voice. "This young lady is so confident. What if you can't cure it?" The voice was clear and flippant. Even before he appeared, he gave off a cynical vibe. When he stepped into the room, his tall and well-built figure was filled with a unique masculine hormone and tension. The newcomer was roughly in his early 20s, wearing a well-tailored haute couture suit. His facial features were as if carved. Combined together, they were excessively beautiful. He wore a metallic earring on his left ear, arrogant and flamboyant. And behind him, over 10 bodyguards stood respectfully on both sides, each exuding an aura that kept strangers away. As soon as he arrived, the expressions of the Lin family members changed. Even their eyes held a hint of ingratiation. "Why are you here?" Lin Ce was a bit surprised. Lu Xinian didn't answer. Instead, he looked at Shen Yu. His cold gaze looked down from above. "This young lady hasn't answered my question yet." Shen Yu curled her lips. "If you're not cured, you can call me daddy. If you're cured, I'll be your living daddy. How about that?" Healing was originally a deal between her and Aunt Lin. The interference of an outsider annoyed her. Everyone gasped. Someone actually dared to speak to young Master Nyan like that. Does she have a death wish? Unexpectedly, Lu Xinian actually agreed. "Fine." The man's lips curved slightly. His eyes held a trace of coldness as he stared at Shen Yu. "Take her to see the old madam." The crowd quickly moved aside to make way. Shen Yu felt inwardly surprised. This man didn't seem to be a relative of the Lin family. Why did he have so much authority within the Lin family? She furrowed her brows slightly. Then she turned and followed Lin Ce into the inner room. The others remained waiting in the outer room. Inside the room, old Madame Lin was currently conscious. Her eyes looked with confusion at the unfamiliar Shen. "I'm the doctor here to treat you. No need to be nervous. Just relax." Shen Yu began taking out the silver needles from the case. Her voice was very calm, but it held a power that was strangely soothing. The confusion in the old lady's eyes also faded. She began to relax her whole body. Shen Yu first applied several skillful maneuvers, massaging the old lady's meridians. Then she picked up several silver needles. With a flick of her wrist, She inserted 5 silver needles into the acupoints on the old woman's arm. Immediately, puffs of vapor began to rise from the needled acupoints. After the old lady's whole body twitched once, the pain on her face gradually disappeared. The Lin family members watched the scene inside through the observation glass. Every one of them wore an expression of shock. Shen Yu's needle technique could be called flying needles finding their points. Utterly mesmerizing. Lu Xinian's pupils also contracted sharply. Such force and precision. How on earth did she do it? Soon, the swollen bumps on the old lady's body gradually disappeared. The protruding veins retracted back beneath the skin. The symptoms were greatly alleviated. After Shen Yu finished the treatment and came out. After giving instructions to the Lin family regarding the will, only then did he allow them to go in and visit the old lady. Lu Xinian suddenly stood up as well. As he passed by Shen Yu, he paused for a moment and called out in a hoarse voice, "Godfather." Shen Yu's lips curved slightly. The corners of Lu Xinian's mouth also lifted more deeply. Then he quickly strode into the room. After the Lin family came out again, everyone's attitude toward Shen Yu became extremely respectful. "We're sorry, Miss Miracle, Doctor. We failed to recognize your greatness before. In the future, no matter what you need, if there's anything our Lin family can assist with, just say the word." After finishing his visit, Lu Xinian took a phone call. Before leaving, he cast a deep glance at Shen Yu. His eyes filled with undisguised interest and curiosity. "If there's a chance next time, I hope to treat my godfather to a meal." With that, he turned and left. Shen Yu curled her lips at his pretentious display. Quite the show-off. And quite the act. "I really can't stand this person." Lin Ce came forward with a cheerful smile and said, "Thank you. From now on, you are my daughter. You are the precious young lady of our Lin family." Shen Yu's lips twitched slightly. She had only asked Aunt Lin to arrange a place for her to live after her release from prison. She never expected that Aunt Lin would arrange a whole new identity for her as well. Although the Shen family was also wealthy, the Lin family's assets and corporate market value were top tier in the country. Calculating it this way, the status of a Lin family young lady carried more weight than that of a Shen family young lady. On the way to the villa, Lin Ce took the opportunity to introduce Lu Xinian to her. "Lu Xinian is my nephew. However, within the entire Lin family, aside from me, he isn't close to anyone else. That child has a somewhat peculiar personality. Very few people can get close to him. But his heart is in the right place." After the old lady fell ill, he also helped find many famous doctors. It's just that nothing came of it. Lin Ce smiled and glanced at Shen Yu beside her. The reason the family gives Anayan so much face is because Anayan is the youngest grandson of the Lu family. The Lu family of the capital. Shen Yu searched through the original host's memories but found no related information. But judging from the Lin family's attitude towards Lu Xinian, both fawning and fearful, it was probably not as simple as Aunt Lin made it sound. While they were talking, the car entered the villa. The villa was located in the city center. Everything inside was decorated according to a young girl's preferences. One could tell Lin Ce had put thought into it. Before leaving, she couldn't help but give Shen Yu a hug. "From now on, just think of me as your own mother. My home is your home. First, rest properly for a couple of days. Once you're well rested, Aunt Lin will hold a welcome ceremony for you to wash away the bad luck from the past." Lin Ce had looked into Shen Yu's background. She knew the real reason. She was oppressed by her family and sent to prison. Aside from being grateful that Shen Yu cured the old lady, she genuinely felt sorry for this young girl. Shen Yu's heart warmed a little at this moment. The warmth that her own family failed to give, she actually felt from someone completely unrelated by blood. Lin Ce then took out a gold card. It contained 10 million. Spend it however you like. She also left a secretary behind. telling Shen Yu to ask the secretary for anything she needed at any time. After Lin Ce left, Shen Yu first took a bath, then had a good, sound sleep, enjoying her freedom to the fullest. After waking up, she leisurely opened her smartphone. As soon as she logged into the messaging app, several messages popped up immediately, all sent by the Shen family. Without exception, they were pressuring her, telling her to come home quickly, along with some messages scolding her for being ungrateful. After reading them, Shen Yu showed no mercy. She typed back, cursing at each one of them. Without waiting for their replies, she blocked every single one. The Shen brothers wanted her back for no other reason than because of Shen Xing. They were afraid she would talk freely outside about taking the blame for the crime. Perhaps there was still a tiny bit of guilt, and this bit of guilt would vanish as long as Shen Yu returned to the Shen family. Then they would have none left. After all, in their view, it was only right and proper for her to take the blame for Shen Xing. Now, their willingness to let her return home was already a kind of favor. A sister raised outside, who wasn't close to them. How could she compare to the sister they grew up with, who shared a deep bond? As for Shen Xing, she would be more than happy if Shen Yu didn't return. After all, Shen Yu's blood ties to the Shen family were always a threat to her. And the Shen parents believed that nurture surpasses nature. Even if she was their biological daughter, she couldn't compare to the adopted daughter they raised by their side. Moreover, the original Shen Yu grew up in a poor family and was inferior in every way to Shen Xing, who had been carefully cultivated since childhood. The next day, after Shen Yu finished breakfast, Secretary Wu appeared. The man was dressed like a corporate elite, with handsome, regular features. He clearly had received a good education and professional training, considering that Shen Yu had been out of society for 2 years. Secretary Wu suggested taking her out to the mall. She could buy some things she liked. Shen Yu did not refuse. As soon as they entered the mall, Secretary Wu directly took her to the luxury boutiques first. She had just picked up a bag to look at when a familiar voice sounded by her ear. "Third brother, does this bag suit me?" Shen Xing was holding a bag. Turning around, she looked at her third brother, Shen Shu, who had accompanied her to the mall. Shen Shu crossed his arms. "My sister is so cute. She can pull off anything." Shen Shu's twin brother Shen Mu also laughed and said, "Zhao Xing, your third brother is absolutely broke lately. Don't count on him." The shop assistants couldn't help but quietly discuss the 3 siblings. "I really envy Miss Shen. She has 2 handsome twin brothers who dote on her so much. You don't know? Miss Shen actually has 2 even more handsome older brothers. One is a CEO, and the other is a top lawyer. They say all 4 Shen brothers are famously obsessed with their sister." The shop assistants' hushed discussion and envious looks filled Shen Xing's vanity immensely. Her eyes were full of smugness. She whined to her 2 brothers, "I also think this bag suits me perfectly. Buy it for me." Unexpectedly, both brothers scratched their heads awkwardly. "Maybe next month? Or we can buy it another time." Shen Shu coaxed Shen Xing. Shen Xing's face immediately fell. "No, I want it now. Come on, brother. Just buy it for me right now. That bag she's holding. If that young lady can't afford it, please bring it over for me. I've taken a liking to it." A young, cool female voice suddenly spoke up, instantly grabbing the attention of all 3 of them. After seeing who it was, the 3 of them all changed their expressions at once. Shen's voice was piercingly sharp. "Shen Yu, what are you doing here?" Then she narrowed her eyes and looked Shen Yu up and down. "How can someone who just got out of prison dress so well? And her complexion looks so rosy. Her skin is even better than mine." Shen Shu and Shen Mu also stared at her in shock. Shen Mu said coldly, "How dare you show your face in front of us? When second brother went to pick you up, why didn't you come back to the Shen family? Where have you been? Messing around?" And you blocked all of us. What do you take our Shen family for? Shen Yu smiled. Why can't I be here? She turned to the shop assistant. I'll take that bag. I've noticed this young lady hasn't made a purchase after all this time. She probably doesn't like it, right? The shop assistant looked hesitantly at Shen Xing. Miss Shen, do you want it? Shen Xing's eyes widened. You can afford it? Then she burst out laughing. Shen, you, stop joking around, okay? Do you even know what kind of place this is? Whatever. I know you've never set foot in a luxury store like this in your life. You don't actually think that bag is some cheap street vendor item that costs just a few bucks, do you? She completely regarded Shen Yu as a clown here for amusement. Then she lowered her voice and said to Shen Yu, don't embarrass the Shen family like this. Shen Yu curled the corner of her mouth. She directly took a card out of her bag and handed it to the sales assistant. Please wrap this bag for me. Upon seeing the gold card, the sales assistant's eyes instantly lit up. Her attitude towards Shen Yu became several times more polite. Certainly, miss. I will arrange this for you right away. Instantly, Shen Xing's face turned extremely ugly. But she simply didn't believe Shen Yu had money. Shen Yu, stop pretending. There's no way you could have money. The two brothers were also very puzzled when they saw that card. Where did you get the money? Shen Shu's tone carried a cold interrogation. Shen Mu was even more furious. Are you crazy? Why do you have to fight Zhao Xing for things? Can't you see this is the bag Zhao Xing wanted? Shen, you laughed. What I buy is none of your business. Are we even related? Besides, it's you who don't have the money. Just because I have money, can't I buy it? This one statement left both brothers speechless. After all, they had never publicly acknowledged this younger sister. The sales assistant didn't care about this family drama. Whoever pays, she sells to. Miss Shen. After all, you saw this bag first. If you can pay for it now, we will sell it to you. If you cannot make the payment now, then we will sell it to this young lady. These words immediately angered Shen Xing. She is the esteemed eldest young lady of the Shen family. Was this sales assistant looking down on her? Did she think she didn't have money? Who said I wasn't going to buy it? Who's broke and who's pretending? They know it in their hearts. She immediately looked at her two older brothers. Her pitiful expression paired with her cute face made her even more endearing. Shen, you just gave a cold, slight smile. She knew. Shen Shu and Shen Mu definitely didn't have the money to buy this bag for her. This Hermes bag was quite expensive. Right now, Shen Shu and Shen Mu were still in school. The pocket money their parents usually gave them was only 100,000. On top of that, Shen Xing often threw fits, demanding they buy her gifts. The two brothers probably didn't have any extra money. Just as she expected, Shen Shu and Shen Mu both showed a hint of embarrassment on their faces. Xing, maybe next time. Yeah. We've spent all the pocket money Mom gave us. Next month, we'll pull some money and buy it for you, okay? Shen Xing's face instantly turned, as ugly as if she had eaten 10 pounds of shit. Shen, you looked at the shop assistant. The shop assistant immediately understood her meaning and went straight to swipe the card. Shen, you continued spending casually. Not this. And that one. Wrap up all the rest for me. Miss. I'll wrap them up for you right away. The shop assistant's face was all smiles. Her carefree actions made Shen Xing, who had been hung up on just one bag, feel like she had been slapped hard across the face, her cheeks burning. The two brothers exchanged a glance. Shen Shu asked in a deep, stern voice, Shen, you, where did you get the money? Did you do something dirty? Shen Mu looked incredulous. Where did you get the money? The card was quickly swiped. The bags were all packed for Shen Yu. At this moment, Secretary Wu finally walked in. Miss? Have you picked everything? Shen Yu smiled. I have. But I ran into a few dogs. They really love to bark. Anger immediately surged across Shen Mu's face. He wanted to throw a punch. Shen Yu, what did you say? Are you crazy? Don't forget, I'm your brother. Secretary Wu was quick and sharp. With one hand, he pinned Shen Mu's hand. Shen Mu's arm instantly couldn't move. He gritted his teeth and said, "Let me go." Shen, you said calmly. Oh, really? I don't remember having a brother. I'm an orphan. You know? The kind where I'm the only one on the entire family register. And I suspect your family has the super male gene. I suggest you go to the hospital and get checked. The harsh words made both Shen Shu and Shen Mu furious. Has our biological sister lost her mind? Cursing their whole family like that. Shen Xing looked at Secretary Wu, then at Shen Yu. Then he looked utterly disbelief. You're being kept, aren't you? That's how you have money, right? Shen Yu, how could you sink so low? Don't you know, if you do this sort of thing, Mom and Dad would be so disappointed if they found out. Secretary Wu wanted to explain. But Shen Yu stopped him. Then hurry home and tell them. You can't even afford to buy a bag. The Shen family's daughter is worse off than an orphan like me. Shen Xing's eyes turned red with anger. You're shameless. Shen, you ignored her. Had Secretary Wu bring all the bags over, glanced at them and prepared to leave. But just after stepping out of the store, she turned back, as if remembering something she hadn't done. Then she slapped Shen Xing across the face. The sharp slap startled everyone in the store. Before anyone could react, she slapped Shen Shu and Shen Mu twice more. The brothers never expected her to hit them. And the slaps were fast and hard. They didn't have time to react. Shen Yu's gaze was icy. She said word by word, remember, you're the ones who wronged me. When you see me, you should hide like mice, seeing a cat, instead of barking like mad dogs in front of me. Of course, if you prefer to be the latter, this hand of mine specializes in beating vicious dogs. After saying this, she turned and left under everyone's watchful eyes. The three siblings felt somewhat guilty upon hearing this. The Shen family had indeed wronged Shen Yu. They were afraid Shen Yu would publicly reveal the matter of taking the blame, so they could only endure it. Shen Xing sobbed quietly. Even if we were in the wrong, she still shouldn't have done that. She's already been to prison. Mom and Dad were still willing to let her come to the Shen family. Haven't we been good enough to her? I know it's all my fault. I was already prepared to leave the Shen family once she returned. The two brothers immediately comforted Shen Xing. Why should you leave? If anyone should leave, it's her. How dare she hit someone? Next time I'll definitely teach her a lesson. Seeing the shop assistants whispering and gossiping, Shen Xing immediately left in anger. The twin brothers followed closely behind. And just upstairs in the luxury store, Lu Xinian leaned on the railing with both hands, watching everything that had just happened unfold. Upstairs in the luxury store, there was a dedicated VIP lounge. Outside the railing, there was a floor-to-ceiling glass panel. This kind of glass allows those inside to see out clearly. But those outside cannot see inside. She's quite feisty. The corners of his lips curled slightly. A hint of amusement flickered in his eyes. She seems even more interesting than when I saw her at the Lin family's old house. He withdrew his gaze, slowly turned around, and instructed his secretary. Look into the people downstairs. Send me their information by tonight. Also, I want to know how Aunt Lin and that woman know each other. In the parking lot, Secretary Wu respectfully asked, Miss, should we report what just happened to President Lin? Secretary Wu is aware of Shen Yu's identity. If he wants the Lin family to handle the Shen family's troubles, it's actually not difficult. Shen Yu walked leisurely ahead, completely unaffected by what had just happened. No need. It's my own matter. No need to specially inform Aunt Lin. The twins Shen Shu and Shen Mu have a huge fan base both at school and online. Fourth brother Shen Mu is a professional esports player. Hot-tempered, and harsh with his words. In the 3 years Shen Yu has been with the Shen family, Shen Mu subjected him to the most verbal abuse. Although third brother Shen Shu is still in university, an entertainment company has already signed him in advance. He has released albums even before officially debuting. Online, he is called the future top star. Eldest brother Shen Jinzhou is the youngest and wealthiest CEO in Z City. Second brother Shen Jiwen is also a very famous lawyer in the industry. And in order to make herself the envy of everyone, Shen Xing bought numerous promotional articles to praise her for brothers, crowning them with the title of obsessive doting brothers. Combined with her own fairly pretty and cute face, she gained quite a few fans. On the way back, Shen Yu suddenly heard someone call his name. Shen Yu. A middle-aged woman holding a plastic bag ran over. Shen Yu. It's really you. You're out of prison. Shen Yu looked at her calmly. What do you want? The woman had sallow, dark skin. Her face had a vulgar and mean look. Since you're out, you'd better straighten up and behave. You brought this on yourself. Thankfully, it didn't affect my own daughter. Otherwise, I wouldn't let you off so easily. She looked Shen Yu up and down. That's strange. How come, after 2 years in prison, you look even more vibrant and beautiful than before? Shen Yu used to always look listless and gloomy. Now, her complexion is rosy and glowing. Even without makeup, she looks like a celebrity. Secretary Wu frowned. What kind of shady character is this now? You've returned to the Shen family, right? And you even have someone carrying your bags and shopping for you. It seems you're doing quite well. A greedy glint appeared in her eyes. She took 2 steps closer. Then you surely aren't short of money, right? Your brother didn't get into high school. He's attending a private school that's ridiculously expensive. Anyway, you probably don't have much use for money. Why not use your money to pay for your brother's education? Shen Yu frowned. Auntie, whether I need money or not is none of your business. If your son needs school fees, go ask your own daughter. Why come to me? Are you out of your mind? The woman's face instantly turned hysterical. Shen Yu, don't you forget? Who raised you for all those years? You ungrateful wretch. Back at the Shen family, you've forgotten which woman raised you. Shen Yu's expression was calm. You're right. I'm born to be ungrateful by nature. But your own daughter, Shen Xing, is the one who knows how to return a favor. You even compare yourself to my own daughter? Don't you see whether the Shen family prefers my own daughter or you? Shen Yu's eyes turned cold. But soon she laughed. You're right. The Shen family's assets will definitely go to your own daughter in the future. So the Shen family's money is Shen Xing's money. And Shen Xing's money is your money, isn't it? So asking me for money is useless. You have to go find Shen Xing. Oh, right. I just saw her shopping at the mall next door. If you go now, you might still catch her. Hearing this, the woman thought it over with her pig-brain mind. Then she glared at Shen Yu. Of course. From now on, you better take good care of Shen Xing in the Shen family. Be her assistant. If I find out you dare to oppose her, see if I don't teach you a lesson. After saying that, she quickly ran toward the mall next door. Shen Yu crossed her arms. She curled her lips mockingly, then turned and left. Shen Yu's adoptive parents' family surname is Zhao. It's an extremely male chauvinist family. The adoptive mother is obsessed with spoiling her son. The adoptive father is a gambling addict. Shen Yu was raised as worthless trash, treated cheaply since childhood. She suffered plenty of beatings. She didn't escape this predicament until the Shen family found her and brought her back. But for her, it was simply leaping from hell into another abyss. And as the Shen family's beloved darling, Shen Xing certainly had no intention of returning to the Zhao family, especially since her 4 older brothers detested the Zhao family immensely, fearing that Shen Xing would suffer if she went back. On the very day Shen Yu returned, they all seemed to have forgotten. that their own biological younger sister had grown up in such a Zhao family all along. In order to keep Shen Xing, the Shen family gave the Zhao family a compensation fee to send them away. After receiving the compensation, the Zhao family promised never to bother Shen Xing again. But based on Shen Yu's understanding of this family, that money had probably long been gambled away by old man Zhao Shun. So they would definitely go to Shen Xing to ask for money. Zhao's mother, Chen Feng, immediately went to find Shen Xing. Zhao Xing, my own dear daughter. The moment she saw her, Shen Xing's face instantly turned as ugly as if she had eaten shit. This country bumpkin woman was shouting very loudly, drawing the attention of many people around. Some even looked towards Shen Xing. Shen Xing had always been a snob who despised the poor and curried favor with the rich. She instantly felt extremely humiliated. She didn't want to look at that woman at all. Shen Shu and Shen Mu were also embarrassed for a moment, equally wanting nothing to do with the Zhao family. But Chen Feng smiled ingratiatingly, and even tried to reach out to be affectionate. Shen Xing took a full step back to avoid her. He lowered his voice and warned, "What are you doing? Don't shout." She was very nervous, afraid that others would find out she was related to this country bumpkin. Chen Fen smiled and greeted the brothers Shen Shu and Shen Mu. "Hello, Zhao Xing's brothers. Since you are Zhao Xing's brothers, you're practically like my sons too. We're all one family." Hearing this, the faces of both brothers fell. Shen Xing quickly said, "Could you please stop talking nonsense? We have nothing to do with you. What exactly do you want? Is this country bumpkin incapable of understanding human speech?" Chen Fen said, with a fawning smile. "It's like this. Your brother needs to start school soon. Our family has no money. Could you give some, or?" She looked at the twin brothers Shen Shu and Shen Mu. "Your brothers dote on you so much. They must like your brother too. How about pooling a bit more money?" Shen Mu suppressed his urge to curse. So shameless. Shen Shu also didn't want to cause a scene. He grabbed Shen Xing's hand to leave. But Chen Fen grabbed hold of him. "Zhao Xing, you can't abandon your brother. He's your own biological brother. Shen Yu isn't related to her by blood. It's fine if that little brat doesn't care. But you can't just ignore him." When Chen Fen said the words, "that little brat," the expressions of both brothers changed slightly. Shen Xing pushed Chen Fen away. "I'm not close to you. Even less so with your son. Don't bother me in the future. My parents have already given you a sum of money. Don't think about coming to me for favors." Then she did a backflip and launched herself into the car. Chen Fen still wanted to chase after them, but the car had already driven away. The atmosphere in the car was tense, especially for the two brothers, Shen Shu and Shen Mu. Shen Xing tearfully whispered an apology. "Third brother, fourth brother, I'm sorry. I don't know why she showed up here either. Only you are my family." Hearing this, the brothers' expressions softened slightly. Actually, their displeasure, aside from that country bumpkin embarrassing them in public, was also because Chen Fen's scolding of Shen Yu made them uncomfortable. No matter what, Shen Yu is still their sister. Even if they don't like her, an outsider has no right to scold her. Shen Mu frowned and said, "It's not your fault. It's a good thing we didn't let you go back to that kind of family. Having a mother like that would be so shameful. Not only shameful, but you'd also be exploited by that kind of family. It's probably just like those terrible relatives you see on TV. Should have cut ties long ago." Shen Shu also comfortingly patted Shen Xing's head. "Exactly. Poor and ignorant. And spineless too. Shen Yu was raised by such people. No wonder she turned into such a gold digger. Like father, like son. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree." Shen Xing's green tea statement. Shen Yu is also quite pitiful. Everything in the Shen family should have belonged to her. Shen Mu said coldly. "What do you mean, should have belonged to her? This is yours. No one can take it away." Shen Xing pursed her lips and let out a soft, aggrieved. When the two brothers couldn't see her, the corners of her mouth then lifted smugly. Shen, you unwanted country bumpkin. What do you have to fight me with? But what Shen Xing didn't know was that because of the things Chen Fen had just said, the two brothers had started to feel somewhat uneasy about Shen Xing. But what they didn't know was, Shen Yu, who had just gained a sliver of their approval, was currently searching for evidence to convict them. Inside Z City Municipal Hospital, Shen Yu had just learned from a nurse that her female classmate Chen Huan, whom Shen Xing had pushed down the stairs, was still in a vegetative state, and the chances of her ever waking up were extremely slim. Shen, you asked the nurse. What about her parents? Her parents are very busy. They came often, at first, but later they only came once in a long while. After saying this, the nurse left. It seems that after taking that large sum of money from the Shen family, and seeing that their daughter had no chance of waking up, they no longer wanted to continue the treatment. Shen, you walked to Chen Huan's bedside. He reached out and touched her forehead. Then his hand slid down to the tip of her nose and chin, until it reached her chest. Modern medicine couldn't wake her up, but Shen Yu could. It was just a bit troublesome. To clear his name, Chen Huan was an essential witness. There were no surveillance cameras where Shen Xing pushed Chen Huan down the stairs. After seeing what happened to Chen Huan, Shen Xing was so scared, he immediately went to his brothers for help. And the surveillance footage happened to capture Shen Yu passing by nearby, so they simply pinned the blame on Shen Yu. After recalling everything, Shen Yu formed a plan in his mind. He then took out a silver needle from under his arm and slowly inserted it into the back of Chen Huan's head. After a moment, he walked out of the hospital room. He said to Secretary Wu, "Let's go back." Secretary Wu replied respectfully, "Yes." President Lin said, "You don't need to worry about Chen Huan's medical expenses. The Lin family will cover everything." Shen Yu nodded. "Please thank Aunt Lin for me." Before returning to the villa, Shen Yu specifically went to buy a lot of traditional Chinese medicine. After returning, he started preparing the medicine. The medicine here was too scarce, and the herbs themselves lacked sufficient plant spirit energy, so he could only produce some inferior products. But even these inferior products, in his previous world, could easily sell for millions on the black market. She wants purer, more potent medicinal herbs. She must cultivate new medicinal herb seedlings. Soon, he found an online channel for the black market. After registering an account, he listed the refined medicine for sale. To survive in this world, the most important thing is money. So she needs to make money quickly. Although she could earn money by treating illnesses in a short time, it's impossible to find many patients in need. So she contacted Secretary Wu, asking him to help arrange a job that pays quickly. Secretary Wu soon brought her a script. He explained, "Nothing makes money faster than acting. Mainly because Miss Shen is too beautiful. She can definitely make a living just by her looks." Shen Yu gently tapped the table. She fell into thought while looking at the script in her hand. Is it acceptable even if I've been to prison? Isn't the entertainment industry most afraid of actors having scandals? Shen Yu recalled several celebrities who had their careers ruined. Secretary Wu rubbed his nose. Besides President Lin and the Shen family, probably no one else knows about this, right? Thinking about it, that makes sense. This matter involves the Shen family's secret. They wouldn't publicize it everywhere. What they announced publicly was that Shen Yu had gone abroad. So even Shen Yu's classmates didn't know that she actually went to prison in place of Shen Xing. Then I'll trouble Secretary Wu to help arrange it for me. Shen Yu smiled. Secretary Wu seemed particularly excited about this matter. All right, miss. Oh, right, miss. Your school enrollment procedures. President Lin has already handled them for you. You can return to school to continue your studies whenever you wish. Back when Shen Yu was with the Zhao family, Her biggest dream was to get into university and leave the Zhao family. But those 2 years in prison shattered her dream. Shen Yu let out a soft sigh. I understand. Please thank Aunt Lin for me. The next day, the way to the film set, Shen Yu's phone suddenly rang with an unknown caller. She heard her father's angry voice on the phone. Shen Yu, you come back right now. You think you're something now, don't you? Now, you're even being someone's mistress? How old are you? How can you be so wayward? Her mother's voice chimed in from the other side. Have you no shame? You've completely disgraced our Shen family. If Zhao Xing hadn't told us, we'd still be kept in the dark. I'm warning you. This is your last chance to return to the Shen family. Otherwise, we will never acknowledge you again. Shen Yu frowned. If you have issues with your brains, I suggest you go see a doctor. Don't come here to act crazy. What? Are you unaware that according to our country's criminal law, harboring criminals and fabricating false evidence is punishable by law? With just one sentence from Shen Yu, the other end of the line went silent, as if the entire world had gone quiet. Mr. and Mrs. Shen seemed to have been directly hit where it hurt the most. All their arrogance vanished. Shen, you have to understand Mom and Dad about this matter. But that is not a reason for you to degenerate. Now, although Father Shen's arrogance had diminished, his words were still filled with the strong desire for control. Besides, you and Zhao Xing are practically sisters. In such matters, you should step up and take responsibility. We also said we would make it up to you properly once you got out. Why do you have to be so rebellious? Shen Yu let out a cold, mocking laugh. Do you even hear the nonsense you're spouting? After saying that, she immediately hung up the phone. Then she set her phone to reject all unknown calls. Every single person in the Shen family is utterly disgusting. Back then, they cleaned up all of Shen Xing's criminal evidence. They were sure she had no evidence to reopen the case. For Shen Xing's sake, they really went to great lengths. But Shen Yu's goal wasn't just to make them receive their deserved punishment. She also wanted to help the original owner claim what was rightfully hers. Soon, she arrived at the film studio. This time, Secretary Wu had gotten her an audition spot for a supporting female role. The screen time wasn't much, but the character had a standout moment. It was very suitable for a newcomer like her. At the audition venue, next, the director was already very impatient. When Shen Yu walked in, all the crew members were trembling with fear. The actresses auditioning came out one after another looking dejected. The staff member sized up Shen Yu. His attitude was cold. You're here to audition too, right? Come over here to change clothes. Right after he finished speaking, the staff member suddenly noticed someone new entering. He hurriedly scurried over to greet them obsequiously, leaving Shen Yu directly cast aside. Hello, young Master Qin. Hello, Miss Shen. This way, please, you two. Shen Xing's sweet voice rang out. I'm here to audition. May I use my own makeup and styling? The staff member nodded. Of course, you can. The director is right over there. You can go over directly once you're ready. Qin Rui coaxed her ingratiatingly. Zhao Xing, don't you worry. This role is definitely yours. Both your eldest brother and I are investors in this production. I've already put in a good word for you. Shen Xing wore an embarrassed expression. Oh, my. I hope I can get in on my own merit. I don't want people saying I got the role because of financial backing. Qin Rui dotingly patted Shen Xing's head. Okay, of course, you're getting in on your own merit. The appearance of these two made Shen Yu frown. One was the original host's crush from her school days. The other was someone she currently felt an constant urge to slap. In the past, Shen Yu was always bullied at school. During yet another instance of bullying, Qin Rui stepped in and resolved her predicament. After that, the original host developed feelings for Qin Rui. She even wrote him a love confession letter. But that love letter was inexplicably posted on the school's bulletin board, turning the young girl's throbbing heart into a joke. She even earned a nickname because of it. They called her Qin Shao's bootlicker lapdog. But even so, the former Shen Yu still silently did things for Qin Rui until she saw Qin Rui and Shen Xing kissing. She overheard their conversation and finally realized that the mastermind behind this incident was actually Shen Xing. Qin Rui liked Shen Xing, acting on Shen Xing's instructions. Qin Rui was the one who posted her love letter. The goal was to humiliate her. News of the confession also reached the ears of the several Shen brothers. In their view, Shen Yu was just a delusional third wheel trying to interfere. They took turns subjecting Shen Yu to verbal abuse. Even the Shen parents felt she was an embarrassment, so they also did not publicly reveal her identity as the Shen family's true biological daughter. Under the influence of Qin Rui's sweet talk, Shen Xing finally smiled with satisfaction. Then she took her stylist to get her makeup done. Meanwhile, Shen Yu, who was originally supposed to go for her screen test first, was notified that she had been moved to a later slot. Seeing the film crew's attitude toward Shen Xing, it was clear the Shen family and Qin Rui had spent the last 2 years paving the way for her dream of becoming a star. When Shen Xing emerged after hair, makeup, and styling, she instantly attracted everyone's attention. That was the Shen family's young lady, the genuine white, rich, and beautiful BIFMI. Oh, the young lady has come to act as well. Isn't she just snatching food from our mouths? You know what? This production is sponsored by Miss Shen's older brother and her fiancé. The faces of the cast and crew are filled with envy and admiration. This is absolutely the setup of a beloved female lead in a novel. At home, she has 4 older brothers who are utterly devoted to their sister. Outside, there's a fiancé who dotes on her as if his life depends on it. It makes everyone present both jealous and envious. They all understand in their hearts that none of them stand a chance for the role of the female doctor. After a while, even the director grew impatient. Only then did Shen Xing walk over, wearing a specially tailored, waist-cinching white coat that showed off her figure. Her makeup was exquisitely done. She was brimming with confidence. Although the female doctor's role isn't extensive, it's very easy to stand out and shine. By then, she could promote some publicity about a supporting role outshining the lead. Wouldn't that make her hugely famous? Originally, she was smug and self-satisfied, carrying herself with the air of a big star. But the moment she saw Shen Yu, her face instantly changed. What are you doing here? It was only then that Qin Rui noticed Shen Yu. He furrowed his brows. His gaze towards Shen Yu was full of disgust. How did you get out? Qin Rui didn't know about Shen Yu's relationship with the Shen family. But Shen Xing had told him that Shen Yu was sent to prison for doing bad things. Shen Yu leaned against the shelf behind her and curled her lips into a smile. Why can't I be here? Shen Yu up and down. Could it be that your sugar daddy arranged for you to audition? Qin Rui was puzzled. Sugar daddy? Shen Xing said mockingly with a laugh. She's being kept. Probably got shoved into some minor role. I'll have a word with the director later. We can't let one bad apple spoil the whole bunch. The disgust on Qin Rui's face grew even more pronounced. Don't you have any self-respect or self-regard? Shen Yu crossed her arms, looking impatient. Whether I have self-respect or not, is that for your foul mouths to decide? Qin Rui, unable to hide his anger after being insulted, snapped. Are you even a woman? Then it occurred to him, his face full of disdain. Don't tell me you went down this path because of me? In Qin Rui's view, after all, Shen Yu had liked him before. Later, she became degenerate, probably because she couldn't have him. This made Shen Yu laugh out loud. Her gaze was brazen, looking Qin Rui up and down. Thanks for showing me the diversity of the species. Qin Rui felt even more uncomfortable. He was about to speak, but Shen Xing stopped him. Why waste words on her? Shen Xing was clearly a bit annoyed. Just then, the director started urging them. Shen Xing headed over to the audition area. The director saw her wearing a white coat, altered to be fitted at the waist, with big wavy curls, and a look of precise, exquisite makeup, and couldn't help but frown. His complexion also turned somewhat cold. "Let's begin," he said indifferently. But the first one to enter the set wasn't Shen Xing. It was another actor wearing an ordinary white coat. Then, you entered the scene ahead of Shen Xing. Coincidentally, everyone was in position and the cameras had already started rolling. The scene being tested today was about the female doctor receiving the notification and entering the operating room. And it was a performance without physical props. "Shen, you immediately put on the white coat and quickly fastened it." She didn't even have time to straighten her clothes. They were crumpled. Although there were no physical props, her movements could be described as very capable and practiced. There wasn't a single unnecessary expression on her face. She even walked with a sense of urgency. "Who is this?" The director's eyes lit up. The assistant whispered, "This girl is called Shen Yu. Originally, it should have been her turn. Now." But this Miss Shen cut in line. Shen Xing became anxious. Immediately said, "Director, it's clearly my turn to act first. What does she know about acting? Make her get down." The assistant was about to go up and tell Shen Yu to come down, but the director stopped her. The director stared at the camera. "Don't interrupt her." Shen Xing had no choice and could only glare angrily at Shen Yu, who stole her position and spotlight. At this moment, everyone's attention was drawn to Shen Yu, focused on her. They truly felt the charm that the medical profession brings. She quickly rushed to the operating room. Every procedure was skilled and efficient. It was as if she really worked in this profession. Even the subtle expressions during surgery made everyone watching through the camera hold their breath along with her. She was frighteningly familiar with every surgical procedure and movement. A cold, efficient, and professional female doctor was presented right before everyone's eyes. Just these scenes alone made her character captivating, not to mention her pretty face. And her cool, detached demeanor was an added bonus. When the audition ended, the crew members burst into thunderous applause, and Shen Yu, still in her white coat, walked off, habitually slipping her hands into her pockets. These small mannerisms and her aura were exactly like a professional doctor in a hospital. In her previous life, although Shen Yu mainly studied traditional Chinese medicine, she also had knowledge of Western medicine, especially surgical procedures. To research Western medicine, she even studied for years at a world-class medical school. In the end, her family dragged her back, afraid she might accidentally win a Western medicine award and upset the family elders. The director was very pleased with her. "Your name is Shen Yu, right?" He even wore a rare smile on his face. Shen Yu replied with a smile, "Yes." The director nodded. "Not bad." The performance was very vivid. Shen Xing shot a hateful glare at Shen Yu, then turned to the director to complain. "Director, it was clearly supposed to be my turn just now. She deliberately stole my spot." Someone who deliberately steals the spotlight, breaks the rules, and has such terrible character. Shouldn't she be punished? Shen Yu raised an eyebrow. "Wasn't it you who cut in line? It was supposed to be my turn in the first place. If you put it that way, then the one who deliberately steals the spotlight, breaks the rules, and has terrible character is actually you, isn't it?" Shen Xing was left speechless by Shen Yu's words. His face turned pale and then flushed with anger, because what Shen Yu said was the truth. "I did not." Shen Xing stubbornly insisted. "Enough. Stop wasting time. Next." The director said impatiently. Only then did Shen Xing reluctantly say, "Yes." He shot a glare at Shen Yu and hurried off to prepare. Shen Yu leisurely walked to the other side, took off the coat she was wearing, and threw it into the nearby clothes basket. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through her wrist. Qin Rui had tightly grabbed her wrist. He scolded her coldly. How dare you steal Shen Xing's spot? You've got some nerve. You're so disgusting, so eager to show off. At that moment, someone walked over from the other side. Young and wild. This way, please. The director is auditioning actors today, so it's a bit noisy. But who would have thought, as soon as I walked by, I saw this scene. The film crew's expressions instantly turned awkward. That seems to be the young master of the Qin family. No way. Right here on set. He's trying to force himself on an actress? How outrageous. Lu Xinian's eyes narrowed coldly as he looked at Qin Rui. He raised his hand slightly. The people around him fell silent and stopped talking. He leaned casually to the side, a hint of a smirk playing on his lips, ready to watch the show. Let me see how this little wildcat fights back. Shen Yu frowned, looking at her reddened wrist where she had been grabbed. She picked up a nearby water pitcher with her other hand and smashed it directly into Qin Rui's face. Qin Rui cried out in pain, immediately covering his face. The pitcher fell to the ground. A large red mark was left on Qin Rui's face from the impact. Blood was also trickling from his temple. Since most people's attention was on Shen Xing's performance at the moment, not many noticed this incident. But the actors and crew members around them witnessed it firsthand. They were so shocked they were speechless. Is this woman crazy? She actually dared to hit young Master Qin. Shen, have you lost your mind? Qin Rui stared at Shen Yu in disbelief. You dare to hit me? Shen Yu flexed the hand he had just been gripping. He spoke carelessly. Sorry. The dog bit me. I was scared. Qin Rui touched his own temple. When he saw his hand covered in blood, his face grew even colder. You never should have been let out, he said coldly. You're deliberately using this method to try and make me interested in you again, right? Then let me tell you, not only are you using the wrong method, you will also pay the price for this. Qin Rui originally thought Shen Yu's might have been because of him, and he felt a trace of guilt. But she has gone too far. Pitiable people have their hateful sides. Someone without morals or bottom lines like her deserves to be punished. By this time, Shen Xing's audition had also ended. But just when she expected a huge reaction, there were only a few scattered claps. And even those few claps gradually faded into awkward silence. The director's expression was clearly not good. Both Shen Yu and Qin Rui looked over. Shen Yu had just glanced at Shen Xing's performance before coming over. A decisive female doctor, yet she appeared in full makeup. Even her white coat was custom tailored for her. Her entire face was telling the camera, I'm so beautiful. She didn't look like a doctor at all. More like an actress playing dress-up. The director frowned. There are too many little tricks. Also, would a professional doctor wear this kind of altered uniform? Do you think the audience is blind? Shen Xing's face turned bright red from the criticism, but her eyes were full of defiance. The assistant beside her immediately whispered, Director, Miss Shen is backed by the investors. Both the Shen and Qin families have sponsored this production. The director's expression turned somewhat unpleasant. The assistant smiled and looked at Shen Xing. Miss Shen, go take a rest and wait for the notice. Shen Xing nodded. She knew this role was definitely hers, so she wasn't anxious. She turned and saw Shen Yu and Qin Rui standing together. Her expression changed. She immediately walked over. Qin Rui, what happened to your face? She asked in surprise. Qin Rui looked coldly at Shen Yu. Shen Xing was incredulous. Are you crazy? But Shen Yu just smiled and said, Young Master Qin tried to leverage power for sexual favors with me. I was just resisting. Qin Rui's face turned ashen. What nonsense are you spouting? Shen Yu raised her hand pitifully, deliberately putting on an affected voice. Look. Young Master Qin just pinched my hand until it turned red. Everyone around saw it just now. By now, the onlookers were gradually gathering around. Shen Xing acted as if she had heard a joke. Leverage power for favors with you? Are you daydreaming? I know you like can rue it. But using such methods, don't you find it disgusting? Some people present also know. Miss Shen and young Master Qin got engaged 1 year ago. So everyone is particularly interested in this gossip now. Right at this moment, a man's figure strode towards them. Shen Xing looked up and was immediately captivated by this man's appearance and demeanor. She was stunned for a moment. But this man directly threw a punch at Qin Rui. Qin Rui was punched so hard that he staggered backwards several steps. Ultimately, he lost his balance and fell to the ground. This sudden turn of events caused an uproar among the crowd. Shen, you also looked at this guy who suddenly came over and threw a punch. Just showed an impeccable physique with broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and long legs. Standing there, he looked like a perfectly crafted specimen. Why does he look so familiar? Shen Xing stammered. You are Lu Xinian. She had once seen Lu Xinian from afar at an auction. Usually, there are very few news articles and photos of him on the internet. Almost none at all, but there are plenty of rumors about him. When Qin Rui struggled to get up from the ground, his fierce expression, only intending to seek revenge, immediately changed upon seeing Lu Xinian. Young Master Lu, he exclaimed in surprise. Lu Xinian leisurely straightened his sleeves. He said nonchalantly, I just personally witnessed Qin Rui harassing this young lady. My sense of justice suddenly flared up. I'm just that full of righteousness. As he spoke, he slowly turned his head to look at Shen. You. The corners of his lips lifted slightly, carrying a hint of wickedness. By now, many people present had recognized Lu Xinian. Hearing his words, they couldn't help but twitch their mouths. Do you even believe that yourself? This lord is famously ruthless in both high society and business circles. The only one who could beat up Qin Rui like this is probably no one else but this lord. No one else would have the guts. Oh, no. There's also this young lady. Shen, you frowned slightly. So it's him. She glanced at Qin Rui, whose mouth was nearly beaten to a pulp. He really didn't hold back. And with Lu Xinian's sudden testimony, Shen Yu's earlier statement was naturally validated. No one dared to refute her words. Even if Qin Rui wanted to explain, he knew Lu Xinian was doing this on purpose. He could only swallow his anger and endure it silently. He muttered resentfully, Young Master Lu. There must be some misunderstanding. Shen Xing deliberately pitched her voice into a childish tone, trying to appear as if she could speak as an equal to someone of Lu Xinian's status. Young Master Lu, you must have misunderstood. There's no way Qin Rui would harass her. Many people at school knew about how she used to chase after Qin Rui. Qin Rui didn't like her. That's why she resorted to these kinds of methods. You can't just wrong someone based solely on what you see with your eyes, right? The last sentence carried a faint hint of coquettishness. Lu Xinian narrowed his eyes dangerously, his gaze cold. Are you implying that I'm blind? Shen Xing immediately explained. That's not what I meant. Young Master Lu. How do you know her? Shen, you raised an eyebrow. Her voice was still feigning sweetness, but the act wasn't as confident as before. Lu Xinian completely ignored her. He walked straight up to Shen. You. The distance between the two grew closer and closer. The faint woody scent on him grew stronger and stronger. And you frowned. Lu Xinian bent down, looked down at her. His hand suddenly braced against the table behind Shen. You. Right in front of everyone, he pinned Shen Yu against the table. Because of their height difference, Shen Yu maintained her previous standing posture. She didn't move a muscle. Good lord. You chased him? As if questioning something he couldn't comprehend. Arrogance ran rampant across Lu Xinian's handsome face. The roguishness in his eyes was practically overflowing. He raised a brow slightly and said, Is he even worthy? Shen Yu replied coolly and calmly. He's not. But it's not like I'm deaf. You don't need to speak so close. Damn. Now, everyone not only knows that young Master Qin isn't worthy, But they also know this young lady is young Master Lu's top supporter. The onlookers all were the excited faces of people watching juicy drama. Some even couldn't help but start fangirling over them right then and there. With their height and looks, they're a perfect match, all right? Shen Xing's eyes were so angry, they seemed to spark with fire. How could Shen Yu know someone like Lu Xinian? Meanwhile, Qin Rui, whose face was still badly swollen, also looked extremely upset. If his bodyguard hadn't come over to support him, he would have wanted to dig a hole and hide in it. At this moment, the director's team sent someone over to announce the result. Hello, Miss Shen Yu. Congratulations on successfully securing the role of Zhang Huai, the female doctor in the urban legend. Your schedule. The staff came over and witnessed such an explosive scene before their eyes. They were too stunned to speak coherently. Lu Xinian slowly straightened up. He fastened his cufflinks. The sexy and well-defined lines of his muscles, hidden under his sleeves, flashed briefly into view. Shen Yu's gaze lingered on the calluses on his fingertips for a moment. Thank you. I understand. She smiled politely. But Shen Xing's voice suddenly raised several decibels. What did you say? She walked up to the staff and questioned them. Why her? The staff replied awkwardly. This was the director's decision. Shen Xing suppressed the anger and resentment inside her. She whispered into the staff member's ear. What do you mean by this? Do you no longer want the sponsorship from the Shen and Qin families? They had clearly agreed on it before. Her coming here was just a formality. How dare the director go back on his word? The staff patiently explained. The director made the decision based on the audition performances. Miss Shen Yu's understanding and portrayal of the profession were very compelling. It was obvious she had prepared thoroughly. If you have any objections, the director said, we can show both of your audition clips for everyone to judge. Shen Xing took a deep breath. Do you really intend to let a kept woman? Are they really going to let someone with countless scandals star in this drama? This immediately got everyone's attention. She pointed at Shen Yu, hesitated for a moment, and then said, she's being kept by a wealthy man. Her private life is promiscuous. She climbed her way up by being someone's mistress. That's the only reason she could come here to audition. Do you want someone like her to ruin the reputation of the entire crew? Shen Yu knew. Shen Xing didn't dare mention that she had been to prison. She neither wanted others to know she was the Shen family's biological daughter, nor did she want her to spout nonsense. Lu Xinian's eyes narrowed slightly. His gaze also turned toward Shen Yu. Shen Yu's lips curled into a cold smirk. Shen Xing. Didn't I warn you before? To keep that dog mouth of yours from biting people randomly. Shen Xing immediately remembered the beating she got last time. Her face turned faced with the tense standoff between these two. Everyone around them instantly held their breath. Shen Yu spoke coldly. You're occupying my place. And yet, you dare act so insolently in front of me. How arrogant can you be, fake heiress? Shut up. Shen Xing immediately cut off Shen Yu's words. What nonsense are you spouting? But an uproar erupted among the onlookers. What did she say? Fake heiress? Oh, right. They're both surnamed Shen. Could they actually be from the same family? Is Miss Shen Xing the fake heiress? How is that possible? Miss Shen Xing is the treasure held in the palm of the Shen family's hand. She is famously known in the circle for having a fortunate life, probably relying on sharing the same surname Shen to stir up trouble. Not to mention, I think Shen Yu looks more like the Shen family's brothers than Shen Xing does. Xing immediately changed her expression and demeanor. I just can't stand people like you with rotten character. You know exactly what you've done. Everyone knows you chased after Qin Rui at school. Now that you see us together, you deliberately use dirty tricks to compete with me for this role. She stopped talking. She didn't continue along the lines of what Shen Yu said. She was afraid that the matter of her being a fake heiress would blow up and really spread. If that happens, everyone will know she's a fake heiress. Qin Rui walked over with one hand covering his face. he said coldly. Call your director over. Shen Yu curled her lips. She certainly knew the reason Shen Xing changed the subject. She hurriedly took out her phone, opened a live streaming app. Just as Lu Xinian was about to step forward to say something, he saw Shen Yu's action. He couldn't help but stop and step back again. Stood by the girl's side and watched her phone's live stream. He also glanced at the stream's title. Sheng International's heiress brings investment to join the crew, but fails the audition. Threatens to withdraw funds while throwing a tantrum with her fiancé. Lu Xinian was a bit stunned. Just like that, the two of them stood there so casually, as if they had known each other for a long time, without any sense of awkwardness, especially with Lu Xinian holding one hand in his pants pocket. Under the gaze, the way you looked at Shen Yu's phone even gave off a hint of indulgence. The staff didn't react much. They just said, "The director is busy." Seeing that Qin Rui wasn't of much use, Qing immediately picked up her phone and made a call. Complaining softly, with a pitiful tone, she whimpered a few words. "Brother." After a while, she handed the phone to the staff. Her words carried an unmistakable air of superiority. "My brother said he wants to speak with you personally." This staff member had previously dealt with the leadership, so he instinctively glanced at Lu Xinian for a cue. Under the man's signal, he put the call on speakerphone. The voice on the other end was deep and carried a hint of threat. "I'm Shen Jinzhou. You're not following the rules. Aren't you afraid we'll pull our investment? Why did the Shen and Qin families invest in your show? You should know very well. If my sister doesn't get the role she wants, then we will withdraw our investment immediately. Don't even think about filming this show anymore. I have plenty of ways to make sure your production doesn't go through." The blatant threat was clearly heard by everyone present, and it made everyone there change their expressions. Actually, investors pushing their own people into roles isn't uncommon. As long as both parties reach a consensus, there's nothing that can't be done. But such a blatant threat changes the nature of the situation. Shen Xing curled the corners of her lips smugly. She had always enjoyed the feeling of being protected by her brother since childhood. The Shen family's background and the doting treatment she received from everyone made her proud and pleased, so she never felt there was anything wrong with it. Growing up in such an environment, she had long regarded herself as a princess pampered by all. She always got whatever she wanted. After all, someone would always stand up for her and foot the bill. All she needed to do was act pitiful and throw a little tantrum. So she believed the director would definitely compromise. Suddenly, a staff member rushed over and said urgently, "Someone is live streaming here right now. Netizens are already calling in to criticize us." Hearing this, everyone's expressions changed. Shen Xing's face turned even uglier. "What live stream?" Immediately, everyone looked toward where Shen Yu and Lu Xinian were standing. Shen Yu waved at Shen Xing like a beckoning cat, smiling. "Hi." And Shen Xing's shocked and fearful face appeared right in the middle of the screen. "It's you." She glared angrily at Shen Xing. If she weren't concerned about her image, she would have rushed over to snatch Shen Yu's phone. Lu Xinian walked out with a smile, but his words were directed at Shen Jinzhou on the other end of the phone. "President Shen is quite arrogant." But his hand also covered Shen Yu's camera. The moment he stepped out, Shen Yu had already finished recording what needed to be recorded, so he naturally withdrew and turned off his phone. "Who are you?" Shen Jinzhou's voice came through the phone, alert and suspicious. "My surname is Lu." The Lu in Lu Xinian. He casually took 2 steps forward. After enunciating each word clearly, he then gave a staff member a look. The staff member tactfully hung up the phone and returned it to Shen Xing. And in the office, after Shen Jinzhou heard these words, he was completely stunned. A trace of gravity also flashed in his eyes. Why is Lu Xinian there? Qin Rui glanced fearfully at Lu Xinian and understood that the role of Shen Xing was out of reach. He coldly glanced at the staff member. and said to the dazed Shen Xing, "Zhao Xing, let's go." Shen Xing stared at Shen Yu, his eyes almost sparking with fury. He was unwillingly and passively led away by Qin Rui. Qin Rui walked while dialing a call. He said, in a low voice, "The content from the live stream just now. Yes. Delete it from the entire internet. We'll talk about Zhao Xing when we get back. I'm going to the hospital first." The onlookers who had watched the whole drama also dispersed resentfully. Everyone knew what should and shouldn't be said. They were all afraid of getting into trouble. Lu Xinian also picked up his phone and made a call. He lazily gave instructions. Restore all the exposed live streams from the Urban Legends crew with one click. And acquire 2 public relations companies while you're at it. Make sure to bid high for both the Qin family and the Shen family, understood? After hanging up the phone, Lu Xinian finally looked at Shen Yu. Shen Yu asked, "Are you lacking something in the 5 elements?" A rare trace of clear foolishness flashed in Lu Xinian's eyes. "What?" Shen Yu replied. "I think you're lacking in morals." Shen Yu had seen immoral people before. But someone like Lu Xinian was a first for her. She even thought Lu Xinian was sick. Should she give him a couple of acupuncture needles? Unexpectedly, Lu Xinian laughed at her words. His gaze also lingered on her. A wicked smile curled at the corner of his lips. Miss Shen isn't so bad herself. Shen Yu's eyes also roamed up and down. Lu Xinian. She had to admit, seeing this man up close, he was even more perfect. Full of masculine sexual appeal. His facial features were sharp and distinct. Between his brows and eyes, there was an exquisitely deep and rugged handsomeness. The lines of his face were smooth, soft yet still retaining a uniquely masculine sharpness. As a doctor, Shen Yu particularly liked the most perfect specimen of every species, especially Lu Xinian's bone structure, which was almost perfectly proportioned, and the aesthetic appeal created by muscle distribution. She greatly admired this man's body, and Lu Xinian also sensed her somewhat abnormal gaze at him. His eyes darkened slightly. She seemed very satisfied with his body. This thought made his Adam's apple subconsciously bob. A peculiar thrill almost surged from within his body for a moment. "Thanks for earlier," Shen Yu said. "However, regarding the matters between me and the Shen family, if there is a next time, don't interfere." She is someone who dislikes owing favors, and doesn't like others meddling in her affairs. After all, when she wants to go crazy and vent her anger, she needs to handle it personally to feel satisfied. The original Shen Yu was a timid and weak person, so in the past, she never resisted the various forms of emotional and verbal abuse from the Shen family. Even when Qin Rui treated her like a plaything, she never stood up for herself. Perhaps it was the accumulated hatred from the original Shen Yu's body that made her now completely unwilling to show any courtesy to the Shen family. Lu Xinian wasn't angered by Shen Yu's words. Instead, a faint glimmer of interest appeared in his eyes. "Miss Shen, have you misunderstood something? I never intended to help you." Shen Yu neither agreed nor disagreed. She prepared to turn and leave. "Well then, as friends who have met twice, may I invite Miss Shen to have a meal together today?" Lu Xinian suddenly spoke. Shen Yu's footsteps paused. She turned her head to look at Lu Xinian, who was staring straight at her. His clear, deep eyes vividly reflected her figure. Those smiling eyes were like a captivating enchantress, beautiful yet dangerously deadly. She smiled and suddenly said, "What a coincidence. We meet again." Lu Xinian looked at her, his brow slightly raised. Shen Yu's tone lifted. "Let's have a meal together." Lu Xinian's eyes also gained a hint of a smile, bewitchingly and overwhelmingly charming. "All right." The man's secretary and the film crew manager exchanged surprised glances. What kind of tactic is this? They just couldn't understand it. Miss Shen's words just now sounded like she was hitting on young Master Lu. She even took the initiative, turning the tables to invite young Master Lu to eat. Most importantly, Young Master Lu looked quite willing. The secretary gave Shen Yu a strange look. Doesn't young Master Lu dislike forward women? Shen Yu was actually just acting on a whim, deliberately teasing Lucinian for fun. She hadn't expected him to play along so well. Since she had already spoken, Shen Yu had no choice but to follow through. I want to eat hot pot. Lucinian's lips curved slightly. Half an hour later, Shen Yu looked at the steaming hot pot in front of her, then glanced at Lucinian sitting across from her. Now, he had taken off his jacket. He only wore a black shirt. He dressed very casually. The top button of his shirt was never fastened. His suits were never worn in a particularly proper manner either. Although his every gesture carried the noble air of a scion from an elite family, his actions held a sharp, ruthless edge befitting a mafia boss. From what she knew, Lucinian was notorious in their circle for his ruthless methods, but he rarely showed his face in public. The reason he was so widely known was that even as a child, he would beat those who offended him so badly they ended up in the hospital. His rebellious nature was common knowledge. As he grew older, he became even more extreme. When he was in a good mood, everything was fine. But when he was in a bad mood, no one could save face in front of him. That's why everyone in the high society circle feared him. Some even called him the little ancestor of the Lu family behind his back. Even members of the Lin family didn't dare to act recklessly in his presence. But Shen Yu noticed that although Lucinian seemed unruly, everything he did stayed within his boundaries. He could keep everything under his control. I've always been curious about one thing. I wonder if Miss Shen could satisfy my curiosity. Lucinian didn't touch his chopsticks. He watched as Shen Yu began to eat on her own. The corner of his lips curled slightly. Of course, Miss Shen can also refuse to answer. Shen Yu dipped her food in the sauce and took a bite. After swallowing, she replied, "Then I refuse to answer." Lucinian raised an eyebrow. "I changed my mind." Shen Yu continued eating. No takebacks. Lucinian's face tightened. Then he inexplicably started laughing. He propped his chin with one hand. Staying in that position, he watched Shen Yu eat hot pot. "Then I won't ask," he said, with a smile. His words carried a strangely indulgent fondness, as if watching Shen Yu eat hot pot was now more interesting than asking questions. "You're the real heiress of Shang International, aren't you?" He suddenly spoke slowly. Shen Yu glanced up at him, then continued eating without answering. "Aunt Lin likes you very much. She never married in her life. Nor did she have children. She's a commitment phobe. So you don't need to worry, since she's recognized you as her daughter. You are the heiress of the Lin family." His words seemed to be telling Shen Yu that she didn't need to feel any burden in the Lin family now. Aunt Lin recognized her as a daughter simply because she likes her. She didn't marry and has no children, so naturally, no one would question her status. The Shen family's status in their circle is just, compared to the Lin family, it's far inferior. His words carried a deeper meaning, making Shen Yu understand that Lucinian must already know about her relationship with the Shen family. Even though she said today that Shen Xing is a fake heiress, but not everyone believed her. With just one sentence, probably this man also knew he had a grudge against the Shen family. That's why he said such a thing. Shen Yu grinned, looking at him. "Thank you so much." Although it was a fake smile, but because Shen Yu was originally beautiful enough, after her soul was reborn, and she had nourished her body to be healthy and radiant. With this fake smile, the flesh on her cheeks became plump, very much like a Barbie doll in a shop window. It made Lucinian have the impulse to reach out and pinch her face. As soon as he thought it, he did it. When his hand pinched the soft, tender flesh of the girl's face, the man was slightly stunned. So a girl's face is this nice to pinch? Like a slippery, soft boiled egg. He was even afraid he might break it if he used too much force. Shen Yu frowned. Her voice turned cold. "Had enough?" Is there something wrong with him? We were talking fine. Why suddenly pinch my face? Lu Xinian reluctantly withdrew his hand, his eyes deeply gazing at Shen Yu, a hint of roguishness flickering at the corners of his eyes. If I said I hadn't had enough, could I apply to continue? Shen Yu knitted her brows slightly, her eyes strangely sizing up. Lu Xinian, you don't have skin hunger, do you? Lu Xinian was about to reply, but was interrupted by an untimely voice. Shen Yu, it really is you. Didn't you go abroad? Going abroad? She obviously went back to the countryside to feed pigs. You actually believed she went abroad? A male and a female voice spoke up in turn. Shen Yu and Lu Xinian simultaneously looked toward the speakers. The newcomers appeared to be a group of university students. There were 5 or 6 of them in total. They seemed to be here for a meal together. As it happened, they were all Shen Yu's former classmates. All of them came from wealthy or influential families. Shen Yu had attended the same private high school as Shen Xing, but her family forbade her from revealing her true identity. They told her to think of Shen Xing's situation. The original Shen Yu, influenced by the Zhao family, was timid by nature and kind-hearted. So she agreed. This allowed Shen Xing to scheme against her, making everyone believe that if Shen Yu ever uttered the words Shen family, she was just trying to ride on Shen Xing's coattails, deliberately boasting and making up stories to get attention. Shen Xing, afraid Shen Yu might reveal the truth if she made friends, egged everyone on to ostracize her. As a result, in everyone's eyes, Shen Yu was just a poor, tacky country bumpkin trying to latch onto rich people. Especially after her pursuit of Qinrui became known throughout the entire school, she became everyone's laughingstock. Shen Yu, I heard you've been back in the countryside feeding pigs these past 2 years. One of the young men had already walked over. He glanced at Lu Xinian. He said, mockingly, thinking he was being witty, "Yo, switching targets now? Weren't you young Master Qin's before?" A cold glint had already appeared in Lu Xinian's eyes. The secretary, standing behind him, also gave the boy a chilly glance. Causing trouble while young Master Lu is eating? Isn't that asking for death? Meanwhile, Shen Yu seemed unbothered, still leisurely sipping her soda. Jiang Hao, are you stupid? Why feed pigs when you can make money off a rich young master? Another girl laughed from not far away. After all, for someone like her, the only way to change her fate is by finding a man. This made a few other companions laugh along. Hey, handsome, don't say I didn't warn you. This girl in front of you. Back in school, she loved meddling in other people's relationships. A girl deliberately spoke up. Lu Xinian glanced up at Shen Yu, only to see Shen Yu elegantly wipe her mouth. The corner of her cool lips lifted slightly, her gaze teasing as she looked at Shen Yu. Oh, really? Turns out I just happen to like people who meddle in others' relationships. This almost made Shen Yu laugh out loud. Hearing this, the girl was incredulous. Are you sick or something? Lu Xinian leaned back slightly, his expression casual and relaxed. What a coincidence, isn't it? I am sick. She's the doctor. They all looked at each other in disbelief. They continued their slander, unwilling to let it go. A shabby country bumpkin like her is clearly just after your money. Lu Xinian's lips curled slightly. He looked at Shen Yu and replied, I may not have much talent, but I do have plenty of money. But at this moment, a trace of impatience was evident between his brows. His reaction made everyone's expressions turn somewhat unpleasant. Why would anyone still be so eager to play the fool these days? Shen Yu's gaze at Lu Xinian clearly spelled out a few words. Had enough fun? He slowly turned to look at them and spoke calmly. What's the matter? Did the Bureau of Animal Husbandry leave its door open? How did a bunch of beasts manage to get out? Am I that familiar with you? Who gave you the right to tell me what to do? Her unhurried retort left those former classmates momentarily stunned. This wasn't quite the Shen Yu they used to know. The old Shen Yu would always turtle up whenever criticized, never daring to talk back. Now, not only was she insulting them, but she was doing it so fiercely. Shen Yu, what are you saying? Don't go too far. The girl who had spoken earlier said sharply. Shen, you asked curiously. Did you eat something disgusting earlier? Your mouths are so foul. Shen, you wretched. Before the girl could finish, she found her mouth already frozen stiff. Not a single sound could come out. She began screaming in terror. But it was as if she had lost her voice. Not a single sound could come out. The others began to get scared. What's wrong with you? Lily. Don't scare me like this. Shen, you withdrew her hand, acting as if nothing had happened. She picked up a wet towel nearby and wiped her hands. But Lu Xinian narrowed his eyes. His gaze fell on the area below the girl's jaw, on the side of her neck. In that spot, there was an extremely thin silver needle. If you didn't look carefully, you would never notice it. Just now, Shen Yu had only casually waved her hand. And just like that, she knocked out that silver needle. Shen, you spoke slowly and deliberately. I'm someone who is very good at curing illnesses, especially fake gold digger syndrome. Jiang Hao pointed at Shen Yu and accused her. It was you. What did you do? Then, you ignored him. Instead, she looked at Lu Xinian. I'm done eating. After saying that, she stood up directly. Then she looked at the few of them. Everyone was glaring at her angrily. But they were also afraid of her. Remember this. In the past, I liked Qin Rui, that was me being an idiot. But from now on, anyone dares to bring this up in front of me again, reminding me of how stupid I used to be, your fate will be the same as hers. And one more thing, since you know, I used to raise pigs in the countryside. You should know I'm quite good at dealing with animals. So don't get in my sight for no reason. After speaking, Shen Yu snapped her fingers. The manager immediately walked over. Hello, miss. How may I assist you? Shen, you took out a gold card. I'm reserving the entire venue for tonight. Clear the place. The manager received the card with both hands and said without delay, yes, I will take care of it right away. This gold card was given to her by the Lin family as a reward and token of gratitude. As long as she has this gold card, all her expenses at any Lin family-owned establishments are free of charge. And she enjoys all service privileges. And this hot pot restaurant happened to be one of the Lin family's catering businesses. Then, you only realized this after entering. Her old classmates were completely stunned. They knew this hot pot restaurant was backed by the Lin family. How could Shen Yu have such authority to have the place cleared just like that? The girl who had lost her voice wanted to say something, but couldn't utter a single syllable. Yet she looked at Shen Yu with a mix of fear and pleading, and pointed at her own mouth. Shen Yu left her with the remark, when you learn to speak like a decent person, it will naturally get better. After saying that, she turned and walked away. Before she left, Jiang Hao tried to chase after her, pointing at Shen Yu's back and yelling, don't think you're something special just because you've latched onto a rich person. Everyone knows what kind of person you are. You're worthless. Jiang Hao's throat seized up. Suddenly, he couldn't even breathe. The choking force even lifted him gradually onto his toes. He stared in terror at the man before him, unable to utter a single word. The others also stepped back in fear, not daring to make a sound. Lu Xinian single-handedly gripped Shang Hao's throat. The veins in his arm bulged out. The muscle contours hidden beneath his black shirt were stretched taut, looking intensely pronounced. His gaze was icy cold. He tilted his head slightly with a hint of roguishness. Say that again, will you? Lu Xinian was in a very bad mood now. This should have been his moment to play the hero and save the beauty. A chance to show off his prowess. But now, he inexplicably felt as if he and Shen Yu had swapped roles. Seeing that Shen Yu was now ignoring him, this made him even more uncomfortable. Just then, this man happened to cross his path. So Lu Xinian took out his anger on him. With a flick of his wrist, he flung a grown man to the ground just like that. Jiang Hao clutched his throat, unable to make a sound for a long while. In that moment, he truly felt the threat of death. Lu Xinian withdrew his hand. His secretary immediately handed him a handkerchief. He took it and wiped his hands, then directly threw the handkerchief onto Jiang Hao's face. Only then did he stride off on his long legs to catch up with Shen Yu. After they left, the manager began clearing the area and ushering people out. Sorry. Everyone, please leave. Our shop is reserved for a private event tonight. Those few people had very unpleasant expressions on their faces, but they could only slink away in disgrace. As Shen Yu walked out the door, Lu Xinian caught up with her. I'm very sorry. Tonight's meal wasn't very enjoyable for you, Miss Shen. Shen Yu said lightly. I should be the one apologizing. After all, they came here because of me. Lu Xinian's lips quirked slightly. Let me take you back. Shen, you had already hailed a taxi by then. No need. Seeing that Shen Yu was unwilling, Lu Xinian didn't press further. She opened the car door. Before getting in, she glanced back at Lu Xinian. Her gaze lingered on the hand he had used to grab Wang Hao. She curled her lips and praised. Not bad strength. Only after saying this did she get in the car and leave. Lu Xinian slipped his hands into his pants pockets. He watched the direction the taxi left with ease. A smile hung on his face, tinged with a hint of depth. Shen, you sat in the back seat, watching Lu Xinian gradually shrink to a black dot in the rearview mirror. An ordinary person couldn't possibly have that kind of strength and explosive power. Lu Xinian has definitely undergone special training. She knows the human body all too well. Unless he has naturally powerful genes. Otherwise, neither his physical condition, nor his core explosive power, would be this strong. And judging from the location of the calluses on his hands, could it be that he's the reincarnation of an Ultraman? She withdrew her gaze. She began to close her eyes and rest. After returning to the villa, Shen Yu logged into the black market website. Looking at the new balance in her account, she was fairly satisfied. Once her drugs started being sold on the black market, she wouldn't have to worry about the future. Customers would naturally come to her. That night, the Shen Jinzhou brothers were extremely busy. Ever since the live broadcast aired, the four Shen brothers had become very busy. Although the live broadcast only lasted a few minutes, it caused a huge uproar. Now, the entire internet is criticizing Shen Xing and Shen Jinzhou. The facade of the so-called brothers obsessed with doting on their sister has been torn away, exposing the true nature of their bullying. The comment sections on both of their social media platforms were flooded. What brothers obsessed with doting on their sister? I think it's just blatant bullying. Oh. So this is the well-behaved little princess, the Shen family heiress they always promote? Her attitude is truly frightening. You two siblings should just stick together forever. Please don't come and harm ordinary people. Is this how the young lady acts? Having brothers to pave the way sure is different. Can this level of behavior be reported to the police? Am I the only one who envies Shen Xing's lucky birth? She can act if she wants to. And her brothers will spend money for her. If the younger sister doesn't get the role and is unhappy, they just pull the investment. She's basically the winning female lead in a novel, isn't she? Hey, you there, please wake up and get a grip. Most people would be ordinary folks who get exploited by the young mistress, rather than being the young mistress. Everyone, don't miss the main point. What should be mocked is this pair of siblings' attitude towards the film crew. President Shen, may I ask if you still need a younger sister? If I become your younger sister, can I win the Best Actress award too? Apart from that, there are also some voices that everyone overlooked. No? Doesn't anyone think the girl filming the video has such a pleasant voice? Sis, I noticed that. I also noticed that hand covering the screen is really pretty too. It's at the level where I'd screenshot it just to admire. The power of public opinion quickly made netizens' scorn for Shen Xing and Shen Jinzhou spread everywhere. After all, for the Shen family, who have always maintained a positive image, this undoubtedly counts as a scandal. If the scandal blows up, it could also affect the Shen family's business to some extent. So this matter is taken especially seriously by the Shen family. Moreover, the persona Shen Xing usually displays is completely different. The fan-attracting persona Shen Xing has crafted. Although she's a wealthy heiress and receives unconditional doting from her parents and 4 older brothers, is the Shen family's beloved darling. She herself is a kind, well-behaved girl, and also likes to rely on her own abilities to get what she wants. Because she's a little fool, her brothers always like to help out. This kind of delicate, pampered, wealthy heiress persona is exactly what all ordinary girls fantasize about. Therefore, they projected their own beautiful fantasies onto Shen Xing as well. But the live stream allowed everyone to see her true, dark side. Compared to a rich young lady using her wealth to get a role, threatening to pull funding if she didn't get the part, everyone was more focused on her shattered public image. So Shen Xing was attacked by many fans and anti-fans alike. Although Qin Rui, in order to protect Shen Xing, had people delete the videos right from the start, very soon, those videos and screenshots were restored. Even the nasty comments, once deleted, were brought back. From this moment, they knew that someone was definitely targeting them behind the scenes. But Shen Xing, always treated like a little princess and adored by netizens, when had she ever heard such words or suffered this kind of humiliation? Seeing those attacks against her, she furiously threw things around the house, then collapsed on the sofa and cried. Eldest brother Shen Jinzhou's face was also very grim. Someone is deliberately targeting us. Dad has already given the order. Resolve this matter quickly. Second brother Shen Jiwen said calmly. Don't worry. I will have people gather evidence. When the time comes, I won't let a single one who bullied you get away. Shen Shu comforted her. The paid commentators are ready. They've already started working. Shen Mu frowned. Maybe we should hire a PR firm. This can't go on. This video is bad for both Zhao Xing and the Shen family. Shen Xing said while crying. I didn't do anything wrong. Why are they scolding me? She bit her lower lip grievously. I just wanted to play a small role. If Shen, you hadn't deliberately streamed it live. She hates me so much. She actually wants to ruin me. She acted as if she had suffered a grave injustice. She felt absolutely terrible. I said it before. I don't care about the status. I can give it back to her. As long as she comes back, we will all make it up to her properly. But she, Shen Xing, choked up and couldn't speak. Tears kept streaming down uncontrollably. Shen Shu slammed his fist heavily on the coffee table. What exactly does Shen Yu want? How could she go this far? Doesn't she know how much harm and impact this will have on Zhao Xing? Shen Mu said coldly. I think restoring those posts was Shen Yu's doing. Shen Jiwen shook his head. It can't be her. She doesn't have that capability. It must be her sugar daddy behind it. Shen Yu's series of actions, along with Shen Xing's exaggerations, made them believe that Shen Yu was really being kept by a rich man. And they still don't know who the sugar daddy is. Even Shen Yu's audition, getting that role was probably arranged by her sugar daddy too. Shen Jinzhou did not speak. He knew it was more likely Lu Xinian's intention. In that phone call, Lu Xinian deliberately revealed his identity to him. Then the online hate posts were probably restored under his orders as well. But Shen Jinzhou did not understand. Why would Lu Xinian get involved in this matter? If it really was him, this was someone even their Shen family couldn't afford to offend. What exactly was his relationship with Shen Yu? Shen Jinzhou looked at Shen Xing. Keep a low profile for the next few days. I'll have PR handle this. As for Shen Yu, he said quietly, I will have a proper talk with her. Shen Xing nodded obediently, though wronged. Soon, Shen Jinzhou hired 2 PR firms. The 2 firms guaranteed they could mitigate a small portion of the negative impact. But their prices were twice as high as other PR companies, because other PR firms simply refused to take the Shen family's business. Forced into a corner, even though Shen Jinzhou knew it was impossible to fully eliminate the negative impact, he had no choice but to pay the high price for their services. The negative discussions about them kept fluctuating. They would disappear for a while, then quickly resurface. Regarding this, Shen Jinzhou could only accept it. Not long after, Shen Jiwen also posted a statement on social media. I will gather evidence and send cease and desist letters to those who slander my sister's reputation. I advise everyone to think twice about their actions. If it were like before, netizens were almost unanimously envious of Shen Xing's good fortune, and would also praise Shen Jiwen, clamoring to be his little sister. But now, after he issued this statement, opinions have become divided. Half of the people are mocking and provoking, while the other half strongly support Shen Jiwen, urging the brother to protect his sister at all costs. However, a newly registered account, under the name lawyer He Fang, soon posted a statement. Any netizen who receives a lawyer's letter from the Shen family can seek free defense and litigation from me. Guaranteed to win. Wow, the internet exploded with excitement. Some people tried to dig into who lawyer He Fang really is, but found no information about him. They only uncovered a highly renowned industry heavyweight with the same name from 3 years ago. The great lawyer He Fang. This great lawyer, He Fang, has a verifiable track record. With a win rate as high as 99%, he can be considered a top-tier expert in the industry. Although Shen Jiwen is also well known and recognized as a rare, highly capable rising star among the younger generation with an impressive win rate, he is still young and lacks experience. In front of that lawyer, He Fang, he can only be considered a junior. However, that lawyer, he suddenly disappeared 3 years ago. So when this lawyer, He Fang, appeared, everyone began speculating whether it could be the former heavyweight. But if it really is the former industry titan, why would he suddenly step in over something like this? The situation is getting more and more heated. At the same time, someone dug up Shen Yu's account. Her account was also flooded. Many of Shen Xing's fans rushed to Shen Yu's account and started hurling insults under the production team's account as well. Have you no shame? I heard you're the bitch who took advantage of sharing the surname Shen to leech off the Shen family, and even stole Shen Xing's role. Even if we take a step back and say Shen Xing and her brother were in the wrong this time, does that mean you, the one who livestreamed, are completely blameless? Who can't see your malicious intentions? You both have the surname Shen. Why don't you take a piss and look at your reflection? What makes you think you can compare to Shen Xing? For any show this woman acts in from now on, I'll boycott every single one. Disgusting. She didn't care about these bandwagoning netizens, nor did she want to waste her energy. Though, if each of them were standing in front of her, she wouldn't mind giving every single one a slap fair and square. Seeing the netizens' full arsenal of attacks, she knew Shen Xing was behind it. Shen, you promptly posted an update. The post included a photo of the Shen siblings. The caption read, "How come the Shen siblings look nothing alike? Could it be that the little sister stole someone else's life?" Shortly after this post went up, her account quickly fell silent. The most noticeable comments, for example, "It really doesn't look similar. I never noticed before. Shen Xing doesn't resemble anyone in the Shen family. Honestly, it really doesn't look alike." Soon, these comments were reported and removed. Even Shen Yu's post was being reported. Shen Xing, constantly refreshing her phone at home, kept checking the feedback. Why can't it be taken down? She was extremely frustrated, even after sending so many paid trolls to report it. It still couldn't be removed. Shen, you didn't know. Secretary Wu had already given special instructions to all of Shen Yu's social media accounts. As long as Shen Yu didn't post anything illegal, the platforms wouldn't dare to touch them. When the wave of attacks against Shen Yu subsided, Shen Yu put down her phone, tittied up a bit and went downstairs. Aunt Lin had also come over today, directing the servants to move things around. Just put this over here. Be careful. Don't wake the young lady, Lin Si said quietly. She turned around and noticed Shen Yu standing behind her. Zhao, you're awake. Shen Yu smiled as well. Aunt Lin. Seeing Shen Yu wearing the cute pajamas she bought, Lin Si's face lit up with a radiant, flower-like smile. As a single, independent woman, now that she had Shen Yu as a daughter, Lin Si felt like she had suddenly discovered a whole new world. Especially since Shen Yu was so beautiful. No matter how you dress, you look good. Recently, every time she goes out and sees beautiful clothes and bags, she can't help but them and give them to Shen Yu. Imagining Shen Yu all dressed up beautifully by her, it actually gives her a greater sense of achievement than closing a $100 million contract. I specifically bought some decorative items that girls like and brought them over. I hope I'm not disturbing your rest. Shen Yu smiled. Of course not. Lin Si asked. I heard you cleared a plot in the backyard to grow medicinal plants. Is the space enough? If not, we can buy another villa. Shen Yu gave a light cough. It's enough. What she likes most about this villa is that the backyard is quite large, and the area behind the villa is uninhabited. It connects to the mountain. This kind of place is most suitable for her to cultivate medicinal plants. Alright then. If it's not enough, just tell Aunt Lin. If you need assistance, I can hire a few top students from medical school or agricultural college for you. Regarding Lin Si's enthusiastic kindness, Shen Yu still politely declined. She already had other candidates in mind for assistance. Lin Si came early today, so the two happened to have breakfast together. Recently, the old lady's health has been getting better and better. As you said, she does rehabilitation exercises every day, and we let her move around more. Free from the torment of illness, she now sleeps very soundly every day. Every time, she asks the family about you, saying she wants to properly thank you when she gets the chance. I really never expected her to recover so quickly. Lin Si still finds it a bit hard to believe. It hasn't been long at all. Yet the old lady has almost recovered to the point of walking briskly. In the past, she wouldn't have dared to imagine this. Now, people in their circle also know that their Lin family has a miracle doctor. Many are inquiring about this miracle doctor's information, wanting to know exactly who it is. Some are already offering large sums of money for consultations and treatment. After all, the old lady's illness was a complicated condition that even world-class experts couldn't cure. Shen Yu nodded. Although she seems fine now, because she was bedridden for a long time. Plus, the illness caused damage to her nerves and bodily organs, so we still need to pay attention to rest and recovery. I'll go see her for her follow-up appointment after I finish my work. Old Mrs. Lin has a rare disease. Currently, only Shen Yu knows how to treat it. Lin Si immediately said, with a smile. No need to wait. Old Mrs. Lin will also be attending the banquet in a few days. You can check on her directly then. Shen Yu nodded. That works too. This way, she won't have to make a special trip. Hearing this, Lin Si also smiled. She looked at Shen Yu and sighed with relief. Her soft voice carried a touch of emotion. It's really nice. So this is what it feels like to have a daughter to talk to. It feels this good. Shen Yu was momentarily stunned. Then, she also curved her lips into a faint smile. By the way, Aunt Lin, on the day of the welcome banquet, remember to send an invitation to my former Shen family as well. I have quite a show planned for them.